There was no way I was going to get her way talking about this topic. But shout out to Caressa McKnight because she sent me an article. That's a very short article. So this is going to be me reading the article and then me giving my take on it. So I'm going to be completely and utterly honest. Before today, which is November 25th, 2019, I did not know who in the hell Patrick Patterson was. I really didn't. And the thing is, I watch basketball. I work at a place where basketball is played pretty much weekly. And I still didn't know who this guy was until today. And then someone said that he's a bench player. I said, oh, that's probably why I never heard of him. But even then, some of them I still don't know. It's like it's a constant rotation of people, but that's besides the point. But now I'm going to discuss this recent comment that he made on his Instagram page. So here's a picture of him and his wife, whose name is Sarah Nasser, and they said, and this is definitely their wedding picture, but I believe they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary. And he posted this picture up there, and he got some comments and everything like that, but one comment in particular made him want to reply back to this person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article because it's really short, then I'm going to read the comment, get my take on it, then read his apology because he apologized, and I'm going to put that in quotations because this apology is only one to try to clear the air or try to do damage control. That's really all it is. It says Patrick Patterson of the Los Angeles Clippers caught flack for speaking negatively about black women while defending his mixed race marriage. The incident began after Patterson posted an image on Instagram of his wife Sarah Nasser, who happens to be white. Several Instagram users responded to the post, and one person suggested that Nasser would not have married Patterson if he did not make it into the NBA. Bro, you grew up loving our women, at Mafia Material _BWA wrote. Why wait until you get some real money? If you weren't in the NBA and worked at Walmart, you wouldn't stand a chance, bro. Now, reading how that is written, I can tell that was written by another black man, most likely. I don't think a black woman wrote that comment just by the tone and how it was written. It says Patterson responded to critics with this about black women. So I should settle for a bulldog and act like I'm happy with my life and preach keep it in your race to the world as if Dr. Martin Luther King didn't fight and die for equality, he wrote. Acceptance, all cultures loving one another, and no hate. That may be your life, but I don't want that for mine or my family. Color doesn't matter. Wake up. Okay, he had what you would call a Freudian slip. For those, and I feel like I shouldn't have to explain what a Freudian slip is, but a Freudian slip basically is when you say something that you shouldn't say out loud in public. It should be something that either should be kept to yourself or said behind closed doors when there's nobody else around. He posted this up on his Instagram page where everyone can see him. He's a public figure. He has a blue check. He's an NBA player. People know who he is. He has a lot of followers. Of course, this was going to spread when people got wind of this. He said, so I should settle for a bulldog and act like I'm happy with my life and preach keep it in your race to the world as if Dr. Martin Luther King didn't fight or die for equality. The part where he royally fucked up is the obvious. When he referred to black women as bulldogs. Now we know that there are some people in our community who have an issue with black women, as black women will have issues with black men. However, he royally fucked up when he referred to black women as a bulldog and made it seem like he made it a very vast statement as if he was putting that indictment on all black women. And then it looks like he literally propped up another race of women on a pedestal. Yes, I know his wife is palm colored. So, of course, he's going to hold her to a higher standard than anybody else because that's his wife. And he's going to do that. However, the optics make it seem like he would even hold up another palm colored woman that wasn't his wife on a higher pedestal, even if he wasn't with her. And the way that he posted the comment saying bulldog the way that he did, that wasn't just a slip of the tongue. He meant that. And see, he's probably one of those guys that says he had maybe a I'm not, because I don't know his relationship or anything like his relationships that he's been in the past, but I believe he went to school in Kentucky. What's the ratio of black people out there? Not many. And he probably has not been, I'm not going to say he hasn't been with black women in his life, because he would have been to make a very blanket statement like that, or not have been with them like that, but saw the stereotypes that were projected about black women in the media for him to make a statement like that. In which, if that was the case, the latter, then he definitely fucked up, because he's never been with a black woman. That would imply he's never been with a black woman. So how could he make such a raw statement like that, as if palm-colored women like his wife won't do some dirty deeds to him? Let's run down the list, shall we? Look at Tiger Woods' wife. Granted, he deserved what he got, because he done messed around with how many palm-colored women, and his wife damn near cleaned out his bank account. All of them, almost. Then he got his other wake-up call when he was on some meds and decided it would be a good idea to go driving while under the influence of some medication. And then they put beef with black under his race when under his record. Not his record, his mugshot. Look at Lamar Odom. He messed around with damn near nothing but palm-colored women, but it was the last straw when he got with Khloe Kardashian. You know that ain't nothing but a coven of witches. And of course, you know Kris Jenner is the supreme witch. And now he is with or engaged to a black woman. And I haven't really heard anything bad about her in the news, maybe because she's not in the public eye like that. At least not to the point where she was already famous before he got with her. Of course, people are going to know who she is now because of who she's with. And then, I don't know if y'all heard, look at Randy Moss's situation. Now, that situation right there, he really brought that on himself, because he was dating this woman. Because, Randy Moss, he's from West Virginia. Like, how many black people out in West Virginia? And he was with his high school sweetheart, who was a white woman, and had 5 kids, I think, with this woman. All the while, she took him to court, damn near cleaned him out like $4 million and some change, and all she did was blow all of that money, or most of it, on cocaine. She done shoved millions of dollars up her nose. I don't think she shoved it all up her nose, but she probably had some help, but damn near. But the fact of the matter is, he still was having children with this woman, knowing what she was doing. Anyway, he finally broke up with her, and now he's with a black woman. And I'll talk about the last one. And speaking of Tiger Woods, Lindsey Vonn, one of Tiger Woods' exes, is with that PK Subban or Subban or whoever he is. She done broken that man out there putting on her damn bikini, her 4th of July bikini. I think he did it last year and he did it this year. This year he took it to the extreme, because I think he put the 2-piece on. So to Patrick Patterson, you need to be very careful about what you say. Yes, I know there are some women in our community that are rough around the edges. We all are. Trust and believe. It ain't nobody perfect in this world. But you made it seem like only black women could fall into the category of a bulldog. And the people that I just gave as an example, as far as the white women they've been with, are lightweight. If you want to take it to the extreme, look at Tiffany. Well, I was going to say look at Tiffany Lee, because she's Asian, so she doesn't really count. But if you want to throw that in and look at Tiffany Lee's situation, she had her man killed because he didn't want to give her custody of the kids, and got one black man and one question mark above this other man to do it. So you just have to be, like I said, you have to be very careful about the words that come out of your mouth, especially as a public figure on social media. Because guess what? They're going to take that, what you said, and they're going to hold on to that. And they're going to remember what you said. And they're probably going to count down the days in hopes that this woman does the typical thing. Get all his money taken to court, get alimony. And if you get her pregnant, you're going to get child support too. And trust me, it's a wash, rinse, repeat type of thing. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and before I forget, he had to throw Martin Luther King up in there. He did the same thing that a lot of these palm color people do when racism comes up. Bring up Martin Luther King Jr. Meanwhile, back in the day, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. approval rating was about as low as 45s is today. Them people back then didn't like him. If you pull up the approval rating for Dr. King back in the day, it was extremely low. They did not care for that man whatsoever. But it wasn't until years later, after he was assassinated, that they want to use that. But they only use that as a buffer. They don't really care about that man. Well, watch when his birthday rolls around. They're going to be trying to throw all types of parades and whatnot. And then the next day going to come and they're going to go back to their old ways. Hell, they carry their ways there with them, but they suppress them on that day. Ask them about Malcolm X and see how they feel about that. Let me see here. What else did he say? He said, acceptance of all cultures, loving one another, and no hate. That may be your life, but I don't want that for mine or my family. Color doesn't matter. Well, see, here's the thing. It's not about you hating anybody else or anything like that. Although, when you said and referred to them as bulldogs, it made it seem like you did have some hatred in your heart right there. So, are you saying that you have no hate for other cultures, but you have hate for your own? Like, that's what a Freudian slip is. You don't realize that you made the slip until after you made the slip, and even if you try to clean it up, it's too late. That one statement right there done fucked up everything else he said afterward. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read his apology, quote unquote. It said, on November 21st, Patterson apologized for the comments. He says, I want to address my use of the word bulldog during a conversation with someone who I felt was making disrespectful remarks about my wife and our relationship. I responded with the same, making a cruel comment on his wife's physical stature. So I'm guessing that the person who made the comment is married to a black woman. Now, this person who made this comment, then they said they grew up together. It sounds like they know each other. So it was personal for him. And then, so that basically means he was calling his wife a bulldog. I wonder. So, and the thing is, the person who made the comment toward him didn't even say anything remotely that disrespectful about his wife. He didn't call his wife out of her name. He didn't call her or refer to her as an animal. But he referred to black women as that. Let me continue. I know that two wrongs don't make a right, but I let my emotions get the better of me in the heat of the moment. For that, I apologize to him, to his wife, and the rest of his family for the hurtful and cruel comments made on that day. As I did in the rest of the conversation thread multiple times, I will clarify again that I was not using the term as a reference to black women. That is not at all how I feel, but I do not need to justify to the world that I love my black people. I have no animosity or bitterness towards any race. I believe in love and equality. Patrick Patterson, people, they're gonna take that with everything that you just said with a grain of salt. Like I said, the damage is done. Let me go back and read to you the exchange again, one more time. He said, bro, you grew up loving our women. Why wait until you get some real money? If you weren't in the NBA and worked at Walmart, you wouldn't stand a chance. Where in his statement, Patrick Patterson, did he disrespect your wife? He was just actually just saying something that he has observed over time with a lot of people in the NBA or in the sports world, period. And you took that and completely went in a whole nother direction and said, so I should settle for a bulldog and act like I'm happy with my life. Let's break that down. Settle for a bulldog. So he compared black women to bulldogs. And he said, act like I'm happy with my life. So basically what he's saying is that a black woman would make his life miserable. In so many words, that's what he's saying. He says, keep it in your race to the world as if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't fight and die for equality. So are you basically saying that Martin Luther King Jr. died for you to basically engage in interracial intercourse? Like I said, there's so many ways you could break down what he said and realize how much of a fool he made himself with that one statement. He better hope he can bounce back from this, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Black women are like the damn CIA, FBI, Interpol, U.S. Marshals, and any other letter that involves the government rolled into one package, and they ain't gonna forget this. So, to Patrick Patterson, you better not piss off your wife. You better be a loving husband until whenever, and hope y'all don't get a divorce or she doesn't put you on child support, because I don't think they have any children. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they have children or not. But you better make sure she stays happy. Because if one thing comes out that there's trouble in paradise, those black women that you refer to as bulldog, they gonna really show you what a bulldog is like when they go in on you on social media, on these television shows, or wherever. They are going to taunt you. They are, like, they really are. Like I said, he can do whatever he wants to do. He can be with whoever he wants to be. I'm not knocking that, but that statement right there, yeah, he fucked himself up with that one. Like I said, there's no way he can come back from that. You don't come back from a Freudian slip, because we can always remember what you said or what you was getting ready to say. And he put it out, there plain as day. And then he tried to retwist it and reword it and tried to say he wasn't referring to black women as bulldogs, but you were talking about, in a subliminal type of way, about your friend's wife, who I can only assume is black. So not only did you disrespect black women, but you also disrespected this guy's wife when he didn't even disrespect your wife. He didn't, like I said, he didn't say anything bad about her. He just said, why wait till you get some real money? If you weren't in the NBA and worked at Walmart, you wouldn't stand a chance. And to be quite honest, he has actually some validity to that. And not only with a palm colored woman, but probably almost any woman, because a lot of women, believe it or not, are very superficial. If you don't have a certain look or you're not making a certain amount of money, a lot of them aren't going to check for you. That's just the way the world works, unfortunately, especially in the establishment known as the United States of America. So there's really no way that he could back himself out of this. He really just painted himself into a corner. Well, if you didn't know about Patrick Patterson before today, you know about him now. Unfortunately, it's not about his hoop skills. It's just about his Freudian slip. I'm going to end the video on that note. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.